A lot of people talk about the truth, but they don't engage their decision making around the best truth at the time.
12%, only 12% of humans' time, the average human's time, is spent doing something that they like, that they're good at, that they have passion. You have to strike a balance. In the modern world, just understand, you're always being pushed towards Epicureanism. You're always being pushed towards not being an investor and being a consumer and going the route that gives you the most pleasure today. These people who make it in life, whether it's pro athletes, business people, people who change the world with ideas and scientists, millionaires, successful people are just the people who do the things that everybody knows they should do but won't do. Nations are born stoic. They're born and created by great people, but they die when it becomes too Epicurean.
The true definition of narcissism is not what people think. It's not, I look in the mirror and think I'm beautiful. Narcissism is thinking I'm entitled to something. And we live in a world where people are entitled. I've fallen into the trap. I'm sure you have too. You got to root it out because that delusion keeps you from earning it. The second you realize, in a world of 100 billion galaxies, who cares about me, Tai? Who cares about you? Now, some people say, I don't like that message. Well, I don't either, but it doesn't change it. So the sooner I face my fears, I face my delusion and say, look, nobody owes me anything. But if I go out and I do something that's deserving, I'll get back. You know, when you see somebody wealthier than you see somebody in better shape, you don't have to make fun of them. You don't have to look at them. That's how the brain wants to go. It goes straight to delusion. Delusion is one of the most powerful forces at work.
But if you can eliminate any form of helplessness, listen to me. Fix this. If there's 1 ounce of this in your brain, dig it out like a doctor would dig out cancer or a splinter or a bullet that's lodged in your deep in your body. Because if you don't get rid of it, it's exactly like this metaphor of health. It will grow. It will become a poison that keeps you from getting everything you want. If you feel learned helplessness, there is only one way out. You must be ruthless. You must scourge it from yourself in the same way that you would scourge cancer from yourself. If you feel for too long that you can't fix your situation, you will eventually lay down in the box. You will begin to major in minors. You will begin to say, well, I know the problem in the world. I should be, going in a rally. No, that doesn't solve it. You know what you should be doing? Reading a book on finance. Reading a book on how to be healthier. Reading a biography to gain courage. Reading the Lessons of History by Will Durant. Reading a book on improving social skills. Learning a language. Traveling the world. Finding a mentor. Saving a little more than you save now. Learning to invest in real estate. Learning about accounting. Learning how to be sophisticated in your approach, not only to life, but to love, to health, to happiness. Not being a sucker. That's what you should be lamenting and focusing on. Everything that you don't like, for the most part, in terms of big picture beliefs, comes from somebody having what I call the black and white mind, right? If you don't believe me, just look at some of my YouTube comments. People will go, oh, you're wrong. Oh, you're right. When I was 18, I've done a lot of things wrong in my life, and I've done a few things right. And I always say one of the things that I did right was when I was 18, when I met somebody that said something that I hadn't heard before, I didn't agree with, my tone would go, my tone would go up. That's how my mind was thinking. Maybe they know something I don't. Most people go, that's black and white. Oh, you're wrong. I haven't heard that before. I don't believe that. And of course we all see this in others, but we don't see it in ourselves. It's pretty hard to see in yourself. So eradicate this black and white mind, What do you think causes people to blow themselves up? Simple. Black and white mind. They can't imagine that they were wrong.
You want to know where you've been scammed? You want to know what you really should be angry about? I'll tell you what I'm angry about. There is something being perpetrated right underneath the surface of society that everybody's overlooking. It's kind of like magic, you know. And magic, I did magic when I was in 6th grade. And you hold things that you want people to see here, and what you don't want them to see, you have operate underneath your hand, you know, underneath, below the visibility line. So I'm watching commercials. What do I see? 90% of all commercials are pushing things that are bad for you, that are bad for your health, that are bad for your wealth, that are bad for your happiness. Why is nobody boycotting these? You know, people say to me, hey, Tai, the stuff you talk about reading in books and success, what if people perceive it as a get-rich-quick scheme and all this? And I say, hey, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but let's say it was. Is that the big thing that people should be calling out as a scam? Is that the big boycott that should be being talked about? Or how about right down there at all the fast food places? How about 1 million people strong saying, you know what? This is killing us. This is killing our kids. This is killing our families.